Hello. Today I would like to talk about um, Buddhism, and it's something that I've studied most of my life. Um, it's a religion in many countries, and Asian countries. It actually originated in India, which is the birthplace of many different philosophies and beliefs and religions. Um, the reason I studied Buddhism was that when I came across it, it's tricky to know how best to live one's life. And I'm a big believer in taking responsibility, but learning how to be responsible. And the philosophy of Buddhism is that there was once a person who detached from all of life's illusions enough that he one day reached enlightenment, and that anyone can do that by doing what he did. And I guess that applies to just about anything. If you wanted to be the best plumber in the world, then you'd find the best plumber and study from him. Most things in life, whether it was martial arts or any of the trades that I've learned or any of the subjects I learned, I was blessed to have had incredible teachers. Um, so, anyway, back to the story of the Buddha. It's relevant to almost everyone. Anyway, I'll tell you the story. So, there was once a prince born to a king, and that king, when the prince was born, took him to a fortune teller, a seer, astrologer, a wise person. Anyway, that person said, "Your son will either become a very noble, powerful king, or he'll become a great spiritual leader." So the king, wanting to do what he thought was right, wished for the former and wasn't too impressed by the latter. So he decided he would build a world for his son and protect him from all the bad things of the world. So he built beautiful palaces, had only the youngest, most attractive people surround this prince, and just the best of everything. And so that's how this boy was raised, protected and sheltered from all of the pain and the suffering. And anyway, I think anyone over 18 knows what I'm talking about. And so, of course, as in any good story, this lasts so long, and as a young man, he starts to. Uh, he one day, for some reason, gets a glimpse outside of the walls of the palace that he's in, or he sees people in the streets during a parade one day, and usually they're all just the young and the beautiful, but an old man was in the crowd, and he saw age and being old for the first time. And so he asked someone, "What's that?" And they explained it's an old man, and it happens to everyone, and we all get old, and this came as a real shock. And then, of course, one day we die. And I think it came as such, more so, it hurt him so badly because he was so sheltered and protected, like we all are, and some more than others, but it's almost as if people who've had difficult childhoods or lived in the real world or seen how life really was, they tend to, the shock of adulthood bothers them less, so they're already tough enough to. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Um, so anyway, he questioned this, and then he started pushing and pushing, and he decided he'd go out into the world, and so he saw everything: sickness, disease, evil, bad people, pollution, all of it. And he decided to dedicate his life to finding a way to end suffering. And I remember when I was young and I first got into Buddhism, that's, I think, one of their main rules, and that's that life is suffering. And of course, I was all Mr. Positive, and bah, I had a hard time accepting that or understanding what that even meant, because I was young and full of myself and thought I could handle anything. So anyway, uh, yeah. So as you get older, though, I think wisdom is achieved by realizing that we have preconceived ideas or fairy tales or myths or delusions on how life should be. And if we're lucky enough, we'll get all of the things that we want, so that we see that that's not really going to be enough. And it doesn't really matter how high you get up in the world. There's far more to life and far more to you than can ever be achieved in just the world. The ability to honor yourself and that light that is in you, your specialness or your uniqueness. And in this day and age, people are so caught up with being happy and that they totally miss the point so often of the difficulties in life or the suffering that we go through. I'm not for any stretch of the imagination suggesting you put up with it or continue to suffer. But there's something you can learn. There's something that's imbalanced in your life. And so I guess I should finish the story of Buddha. He meditated. He did all the possible things, all the different religions, all the different faiths. He tried them all, and finally what he did was he just loved. And it's truly what every enlightened being has ever said. Any gifted artist has ever said. Any holy person or great leader has always loved. And the highest form of love is to love yourself. And you have to find out who you truly are, not the masks we wear, not the job we have, or the body we have, or the skin color we have. There is something so special about what you're going through. Good or bad, that you will develop strength, you will develop courage, you will develop integrity, and the ability to look in the mirror and know that you're feeling good is because you've been doing good, trying to heal yourself, and then taking what you've learned through your own unique way and experience and sharing that with others that are going through a similar thing so that you can help raise them up, because we all rise up together. I know it seems like I'm saying just focus on yourself, but you're the key to everything. Without you, I don't exist. Nothing exists. And it's so easy to get trapped in this world of roles and jobs and titles and ego trips. The only thing to truly combat fear is love. And you cannot give without what you don't have within. So the way we're going to heal this world and make it a truly better place is to each and every one of us accept responsibility for our ripple, what we're putting out into the universe. And so when you're caught up in your pain or your suffering or your problem, so easy to get overwhelmed and just lost. But if you remember in your own life, anytime you were great, anytime you shone, anytime you were alive, chances are you were doing something for someone else, caring for someone else, loving someone else, loving something. And by finding that thing that you love, the world is out there. It's always easy to find people worse off than you. Please think about what I said. Maybe learn to meditate, learn to take quiet times in nature, try to pet your dog more, or yeah. Don't live your life waiting for someone else to come and fix you. Don't waste your life waiting for somebody else to tell you what's best for you. The answers are out there. You just need to look and ask good questions from people who can possibly give you the answer. Everyone has an opinion on things. I'm not quite sure until you've walked a mile in someone's shoes or truly lived. I've jumped out of an airplane once and I could spend all day telling you about it, but until you do, you'll never really know. So, anyway, I'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much. And I hope what I said helps you in some way. Please, I believe in you. Believe in yourself. You can do it. All right. Thank you. This is important. This is not an accident. You're hearing this at just this right time. You know, and if you've got it all figured out and you're all on it, please go somewhere else. But if you're lost, if you think that you're at the end of your rope, perfect. I'll tell you a little secret. I've had moments of enlightenment, and it's really hard to express how wonderful and terrible that is, because the only way to truly understand oneness or the perfectness of life is to go through something truly awful and not let it ruin you, and learn something from it and grow and try to find out how and why it happened. Maybe you never will, but it's never giving up. It's always knowing there's some reason for it. It's to make you stronger, to make you grow, to make you wiser, to make you just accept, hey, this isn't for me, and change. It's hard to sell that course, but every single person who's ever been through something terrible and is still here, and that's almost all of us, isn't it? You know, especially if you make peace with something. The best. Truly all that life is about. All right, now I'll end it. Okay. Love you all. Bye.